Good day, I'm Trisha Dasrath.
And I'm Renelle Ramlal.
We're attorneys at law and proud members of Soroptimist International Esperance.
As attorneys, we are often asked about the legal recourse available to victims of domestic violence. So we're here today to tell you a little bit about what you can do if you're faced with any incident of domestic violence.
Section 3 of the Domestic Violence Act of Trinidad and Tobago defines domestic violence as including physical, sexual, emotional, or psychological or financial abuse committed by a person against a spouse, child, any other person who's a member of the household or a dependent.
There are different persons who can apply for a protection order in Trinidad and Tobago. Protection orders are available not only to the spouse of an abuser, but also to a member of the household, a child, a dependent, a parent or a sibling, or a person who has been in a visiting relationship with the abuser for a period of more than 12 months. With respect to children, applications can be made on behalf of a child through a parent or guardian, a person with whom the child normally resides with, a police officer, a probation officer, or an approved social worker.
If you're a victim of domestic violence, the first step is to make a report to your nearest police station against the perpetrator. Upon making the report, you will be issued a physical receipt known as a citizen report receipt from the police station. You will need to keep this receipt to present to the court as proof that a report was made. You should also gather other kinds of evidence, such as photographs of the injury or incident, medical reports showing proof of injury, or witnesses who saw the incident of abuse. This evidence will greatly assist the court in determining that your abuser did or is likely to engage in conduct that constitutes domestic violence.
Next step involves making the actual application for a protection order. You can do so by either visiting the nearest district magistrate's court in your area and informing them of your wish to apply, or you may apply via the online platform by sending an email directly to the court at domesticviolence.response@ttlawcourts.org. In making the application, you will be required to provide the party's correct name and address and a specific time of at least 6 months prior to your application when the incident or pattern of behavior occurred. Note that you do not need an attorney for this procedure, but you do have the option of legal representation at your hearing. Should you wish for legal representation, but you are unable to afford it, you can visit the Legal Aid and Advisory Authority to see if you qualify for the provision of legal services.
After your protection order is granted, a copy of the order must be served on the perpetrator and on the police station nearest to the area where you or the perpetrator reside. In certain circumstances, the court has the ability to even award compensation costs to victims for loss of earnings, legal fees, medical and dental costs, moving or relocation fees, and reasonable legal costs incurred in the making of your application.
While a protection order is useful to have in your possession, there are certain limitations to it. For example, a protection order can only be enforced up to a maximum duration of 3 years, so it may become necessary to renew the application. Furthermore, there is a possibility that a protection order may be breached, especially in cases of abusers with a violent history, a pattern of stalking, or even substance abuse. In such circumstances, or if your situation is urgent, you would need to familiarize yourself with other methods of support. These would include reaching out to non-governmental organizations such as Families in Action, or the Shelter for Battered Women and Children, or other shelters and safe houses. Assistance is also available through the Ministry of Social Development and National Family Services Division. The Trinidad and Tobago Police Service has a gender-based violence unit which is designed to handle domestic violence cases and breaches of protection orders.
In cases of child abuse, the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service also has a child protection unit which deals specifically with child protection issues. Reports on child abuse can also be lodged with the Children's Authority. In cases of emergency, please make use of the hotlines available. We will provide a list of these as well as the names and contact information of some organizations which offer support services for domestic violence at the end of this video.
We urge you to remember that your safety and the safety of those around you are of utmost importance. Please do not stay in an abusive relationship for fear of being alone or for fear of being financially impaired.
If you have experienced abuse, please take the first step to get help, and remember that there are available measures which can be taken to protect you and your loved ones.